Welcome, everyone. This is a very exciting moment, I have to say, because not only because of the topic, but also because of the timing within which this topic is evolving. And the topic itself has emerged out of the discussions of the previous 2 years that we had within Ecocivilisation. And many of you came back with comments that this might be the right focus for Ecocivilisation for the forthcoming year. So I'm very happy that we joined forces, 3 organizations, WAF Women, Myanmar Water Academy, and Ecocivilisation together. And we will be engaging with you throughout the entire year. And try to bring forward all the essential topics that are related to this precious resource that we have, and it's so essential for life on this planet Earth. Just quickly to run through the program, the idea about bringing forward this essential topic is to show you and to share with you different dimensions that the water represents. And one of them is, and one of these essential things is, of course, artistic point of view. The other one is energy point of view. The third one is scientific point of view, and also very operational managerial point of view. Throughout the year, these topics will merge with each other, but we did engage with artists. So every session will be also enriched by the artistic note, because we've learned throughout the life that when art joins forces with any other subject, we can embrace it much deeper and on many more levels than just intellectual one. So we really would like this water topic to get deep into ourselves, to get deep into our souls and hearts, that we can respond to the call of Mother Nature and take care of this precious resource with a higher level of love, responsibility, and collaboration. And first, it is an enormous honor to share with you some of the words that were brought to me with a special group of people that quietly behind the scene hold the space for all of us. And now with an open invitation, they're reaching out to people of goodwill to join them and to strengthen their prayers, their rituals, their vibration. And I was really deeply moved when they were happy to share with us the water song and share the story about the Water Song Project. The Water Song Project engages women around the world to become keepers of the water in spirit and action. It starts with a long-wind water song that expresses loving gratitude for the water and raises the consciousness and connection of women with Mother Nature's greatest gift. The song is easy to learn, and our vision is that millions of women will sing it, raising their own connection and awareness of the water they interact with daily, even in the shower or at the sink. We believe this is a powerful step to change, leading to both a spiritual as well as environmental shift of our planet. Our water is under siege from pollution, climate change, mismanagement, and corporate environmental disaster. And without clean water, we cannot live. In Native American and many other indigenous cultures, women are the keepers of the water, and men are the keepers of fire. The elders have understood since the beginning of time that clean water is essential for the survival of all living beings, and they continue to fight and advocate for Mother Earth's most precious resource. Now they are asking women to join them for 1 minute a day to sing to the water. It is incumbent for all of us, especially the women, to help them raise the awareness and protect the water for future generations. This is the introduction to this really, really special song that we will have now a chance to listen to. And while we are listening, here are the words that they will be singing. It's a song that is sang to 4 different directions: south, east, south, west, and north. And now I invite you all to just take a minute, take a really deep breath, and just completely surrender to this beautiful music that the grandmothers are singing through their daughters to us.
The water can hear you. The water has memory. Wapa, and Diane. Water is the life's blood of our mother, the earth. Water is the lifeblood of our own body. To continue to pass on the knowledge that needs to be given unto the other generations. You are the keeper of the water.
To make the change in this life condition that we're in, that great-grandchildren will stand up to this truth of what life is about, and to live it in such an honorable way, the way ancestors came to this earth.
Each day when the sun rises, no matter how bad the day before might have been, there's a new chance for your hopes and dreams. And I say, 𝐒𝐚𝐵, thank you for singing the water song.
very strong vibration for this beginning of the year of water at the beginning of this first session in the series. Water has been also carved in stone. In 2004, an old and worldwide known prophecy and vision became reality. That said, the 13 tribal grandmothers from all 4 directions would align themselves in a time of great planetary distress, and the International Council of the 13 Indigenous Grandmothers was founded. The grandmothers came from all around the globe, and they traveled to all continents to weave their prayers and spiritual traditions together. They gave their unique gifts, spread their wisdom, and the message of peace, love, and hope. In 2022, got the call to create a geopuncture installation together with the UNESCO artist for peace, Marko Pogačnik from Slovenia, an international artist group of LifeNet, in gratitude for the 13 indigenous grandmothers and all the gifts they gave and still give to humanity and Earth, Gaia. And what a better introduction than this to our next speaker. Marko, welcome in this circle. And maybe at the beginning, before you start sharing your relationship with water, maybe you can tell us a little bit about the strength of elements carved in stone.
Yes, Violeta, thank you very much for inviting me. This is a great honor for me to introduce few words. As you told, last year we did with a group from different countries. We have created this geopuncture circle for the 13 grandmothers near Externstein in Germany, which is one of the most important ancient monuments, Neolithic monuments in Germany. And we have carved for each of grandmothers. In effect, our group has first translated the grandmother's messages into qualities that are beyond personalities of these wonderful women. And for each one, we designed a cosmogram, which means a sign where these qualities are inherent and carved in the stone, because stones are able to radiate. Stones being composed of crystals, they are able to radiate then this quality into the ethers and into different levels of life. So you see one of the cosmogram, I think, if I remember, this is by Ivana Petan from Slovenia.
Marko, you were ambassador, you an ambassador for the planet Earth. What does water mean to you?
For me, water is a living being. I would call it elemental being, a planetary elemental being. It is base of all creation. As I perceive it, all the manifested world first manifests in water. So water belongs to the embodied world, even if it is fluid. But when the minerals are being, when the water takes in minerals, then the material world appears. So I think the water makes possible that connecting to water as a conscious elemental being, we can co-create the reality. We are not dependent on how the reality looks around us, but the water gives possibility that changes are being done. Water is a living being and a creator from the core of the earth. It through different layers, being first no, this is not the direction I should talk, but it has no sense. So what I perceive now in different landscapes is that Gaia creates a new face of the planet Earth. This is a planet, the new face of planet Earth, the new constitution that will enable the eco-civilization, or what I call Gaia culture, to manifest upon the Earth. And how she does this is that she creates this new structure of the Earth, not in matter, but in water. So she uses water as a possibility that this new future Earth appears already on the manifested level, if it is not yet seen, because it is constantly fluid, and yet it is there. And in different places on the Earth, I found that the new pluridimensional, multidimensional Earth is already present in what I call the hologram of water. And from there, from this spheres, it is like watery spheres where this new is being created, and from there the manifestation step by step comes to the embodied level. So the water is of the greatest importance for the future to become a living, breathing, and embodied reality. What I also perceive during the last year is that there is even more that water with its quality of remembering, storing information, becomes a new sphere of the Earth that I call love sphere. The Earth starts to manifest something that ancient cultures knew as paradise, as a way of living where it is possible that all beings, visible and invisible, live in harmony with each other. So it would not be possible in other elements, but only in water it is possible this quality of the love sphere to piece by piece being restored. And through these conditions being created, that the eco-civilization or the culture of Gaia becomes a reality, not in the future, but it is becoming reality already now.
Marco, this was such a powerful introduction to a new vision of the world, and to recognize the forces that are around us and to work with them. So what do you think will take humanity to awaken into this? Or should I rather say, do you think we are awakening to this new reality and to these new vibes that water is so closely related to?
I think this is the level of feeling, emotional level. It is not, the mentality is not strong enough to awaken. But while the Earth is creating this watery sphere, a loving sphere, and its fractals everywhere, people from inside start to feel that something new is coming, and that there is fundamental need of change, first within each one of us, and then working in groups and so on. So equally important is that we make markers in outside, like as we do in stone with these geopuncture circles and lithopuncture projects in stones and cosmograms, that people realize there is a new reality coming up. So also other forms, as new forms of agriculture or alternative forms of healing and so on, help then this was people feel inside that is coming, that it becomes manifest, and they will try to search for their way how to cooperate with emerging new culture.
Marco, we have with us here one old friend, acquaintance of yours. You met him in Italy a few years ago in Todi, Alexander Laszlo, and he's here with us as well. And Alexander, please go ahead and maybe make a comment or ask a question, our dear guest.
Thank you so much. What a wonderful opportunity to be with you. This is really, as Marco has just been signaling for us, this is a sacred time, and we all know that water is life. Everyone who is here knows the importance of this. And water is also our teacher. And I think it's very important that in this time, we think about our relationship to water almost in a personal way, as thinking of water as our teacher. We can personify water. Water, as I mentioned, and as Marco has talked about in the sacred frame, is life. It is, without it, we cannot live. Nothing on this planet that is a living organism can live without water. And in this sense, it is our spirit teacher, because it teaches us how to flow. It teaches us how to flow in connection. It teaches us about nourishment. And what is essential is it teaches us the difference between clean water and polluted water as a nourishment for life. We know that polluted water does not nourish. It can even be toxic. It can even be poisonous. So how are we flowing? How can we be clean vessels of nourishment for life? So the idea for me is very clear. When we take care of water, we take care of ourselves, we take care of our flows, we take care of the spirit dimension of our being, as Marco expressed just recently, just now, in this sense of honoring ourselves, our planet, and all life. So it's more than just, oh, we need clean water to drink and people need this to be able to have agricultural frame. No, it's much, much more than that. That is clear, important for agriculture, for drinking, for survival. And yet our spirit of how do we flow into relation with each other? How do we keep that relation clean? This water can teach us. So I think it is very, very important that we have this time. And thank you so much for bringing this to our attention and into our ways of being.
Thank you, Alexander. Marco, maybe the last question before we move on with the program is, you are an ambassador of UN. You've seen so many different worlds, and you're fully aware of this other world that does not treat water as a spiritual energy, does not treat water as the real essence of life, not in a systemic way. Where do you think we could find the communication points, the points of bridging that we can actually jointly move into this new world, this new vibration? Where would you recommend us to start?
And now in the relationship with water, I think we need to be aware that the present civilization is trying to keep water away from us. Within our being, in the being of the modern human being, water is being suppressed below the diaphragm. Like it is something that has to do, yes, with life. There is not possible anything. Life is not possible without water, but this is also the dirty water, because it is a water that is not allowed to enter the body, to enter the level of the heart and mind, or yes, the brain. It is held suppressed. Then the mentality, the rational, which is dry. We are a dry civilization, and getting more and more dry, and more in the head, which is drought. This is death of life, and this civilization goes in this direction. And what we can do is to allow, to be aware of the blockage that is at the diaphragm, and allow the flow of elemental water. This is elemental water, the spiritual aspect of water, to flow into the space of the heart, and then also into our head. So that the dryness that leads to the death of life is overcome. And in the similar way, it is possible in society. So much now, for example, we do it as a group, as groups, through art. It is possible through art. It is possible through song, like we heard one. And it is possible through having love for each other and for all other beings. This makes water flow within us, and through this also the future.
Thank you very much, Marko. And let's say that those who are close to Slovenia or live in Slovenia, tomorrow evening, they can listen to more of your wisdoms in Cankarjev Dom. But for now, I'm very, very grateful that you joined us and shared your wisdoms. And we will continue to perpetuate these words and these sentences that you shared with us, just to really, really open up our hearts and our spirits and tap into this frequency of maybe not yet fully understood magic of water. So thank you, Marko, and I hope you will stay with us for a bit longer to hear others as well. And if you have any kind of comment or question or additional contribution, please just raise your hand or just come on board again. Thanks a lot.
Thank you for inviting me and listening to me. Thank you.
It was great, really. So thanks a lot. We will continue with our program, and this Marko made an incredible opening, and thank you also, Alexander, for adding his wisdom towards water as a teacher. And we will continue along these lines and introduce, through co-creators of this year of water, also the content that we are planning to address. The reason why we are sharing with you the content is because we really value your contribution, and we would like to ask for additional suggestions. If you think that there are some topics related to water that we need to address, we can still follow up and do it. Besides these regular monthly meetings that we will have, our country chairs of Ecocivilisation, they will also organize dedicated local level events through which we will gain additional visibility to what are the current challenges, issues, and opportunities related to water in different communities, and all that will be shared at the last session, where we're going to hear from local level, from country Ecocivilisation country chairs, and learn about even more diversified picture related to water throughout the globe. So our next contribution comes from Dr. Rajni Vohra. Rajni is been a very active member of Ecocivilisation since the beginning, and also one of the core co-creators of this idea of the Year of Water. So Rajni, please, the stage is yours.
Thank you so much, Violeta, for this lovely introduction, and a very good evening to all of you. It's a great delight and pleasure to be participating in the first webinar of the year 2023, which we are celebrating as the Year of Water. And in this journey of eco-civilization, I'm thrilled and grateful to be walking with Ecocivilisation as a collaborative partner on behalf of WOW Women once again. And let me begin by sharing an interesting trivia about water. As many of us might be knowing that about 71% of the Earth's surface is water, and the ocean holds about 97% of the Earth's water. The remaining 3% is found in glaciers, ice, and below the ground in rivers and lakes. So nearly 97% of world's water is salty, or otherwise you can say that undrinkable. And we all know pretty well that the value of water in the life of every organism in human life. As a general rule of thumb, a person can survive without water for about 3 days, and 60% of our body weight is made up of water. Thus, water is very, very essential to most bodily physiological functions. That is why when we say right to life, at the same time, we say right to clean water, right to clean drinkable water is a fundamental right. Sadly, almost 2/3 of the world's population experience severe water crisis, severe water scarcity for at least 1 month every year. And it's a high time to talk about this remarkable element of life, to understand various challenges and issues related to it, and find out sustainable, peaceful solutions to them. Let me also tell all viewers and all my friends that I'm facing extremely unstable internet connection, and that is possibly the reason why I'm not able to show you my slides, PPTs, because I'm taking this call from mobile. So please excuse me for that. I'm continuing my presentation whichever way possible. So broadly speaking, our focus and journey can be primarily divided into 2 parts. One is circular economy and water, and the other is gender and water, wherein we will invite experts from the relevant domain to share their knowledge, insights, and offer us solutions. Let me give you an overview and relevance of both themes. Of circular economy as well as of gender equality and women and their relation with water. So first of all, let me talk about a bit about circular economy. How does the circular economy apply to the water? So guys, friends, we know that circular economy has been proposed as an effective framework for sustainable water management. Circular economy principles offer us an opportunity to recognize and capture the full value of water, in different forms, for processes, as a source of energy, as a carrier of nutrients, in other forms as well. So water can be reused without or with minimal treatment for the same or different purposes. For example, while moving from linear to circular economy, we discuss about how to reduce, reuse, and recycle, well-known concepts in resource efficiency. So for example, reducing water wastage is very much possible by spreading awareness, educating people, and just giving them examples of following some good practices in day-to-day life. And with that, I always ask people, why are we flushing toilets with clean drinking water when we can reuse the water which, post shower, which we have just used it, we can reuse it further. So water reuse system creates the water, the kind of circular system within home, within a society. And we are going to discuss all these things in length and all possible solution. And next slide, which I cannot show you, but I can talk about is about gender equality and its relation with water. which I would like to say, and it has been proven, it's not just because I'm a female, I'm talking it, but it has been proven and found that females care more about environmental issues and have sort of tendency to engage in more conservation behavior than males. Also, another another fact why women are more related with water, because they are vulnerable to climate issues like droughts, floods, more than anybody else, including children, of course. So for women, the water crisis is a personal crisis. They are responsible for finding resources for their families to survive, including drinkable water, cooking, sanitation for different purposes. So women and girls are usually have the responsibility of fetching water. And all these things we are definitely going to discuss in depth in our forthcoming sessions. And I'm sure it would be an incredibly insightful journey for all of us. On this note, I end my presentation, and I'm looking forward to hearing from all my friends. Thanks for patience listening. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Rajni, for this very good overview of part of the sessions that will be going on during the year. But we also have something in plan that in the pipeline that you will be closely related to. At the end of the year, we plan to publish a book about water and all the contributions, and in addition, also additional contribution from some other friends that care about water will be published then in a joint book, which will come out hopefully by March 2024, right?
Certainly, we will do that.
Because we really do not want any of the thoughts be lost or forgotten. The water is just calling us, as Marco said, calling for the collaboration, and grandmothers of the world are also inviting us to work with water. So we will record and save all the contributions that everybody can then go through at the end of the year. Great. Thank you very much, Rajni, for your contribution. And now we're moving on to the next. And it is my great pleasure to welcome Professor Dr. Nini Nitien from Myanmar. Her whole career is related to water pretty much, right, Nini? And we are desperate to hear from you and what we will hear or learn throughout the sessions that you will be moderating. Please go ahead.
Thank you, Violeta. First of all, I want to mention that meeting Violeta is a gift of the God or gift of my karma to do water as I feel right. I have been in the water world for 44 years. As soon as I graduated as a civil engineer, I became a very small water engineer. And then I have moved up to various positions and various fields that also include the United Nations Environment Program, senior advisor to the Dams and Development Project. So I have to take care of many, many thousands. It's like more than 84,000 dams, about them, and then look at why we are still having problems in water security, and so on and so forth. In the nutshell, I feel how incapable we are as water engineers and water professionals, and we ask for money. Then we get to some extent, we ask for technology, and slowly we have advanced and more advanced and even better advanced and sometimes unimaginable technology. So, but still, we have problem, you see? So 44 years long, I have been thinking, why did we fail? For example, United Nations Development Program, UNDP, carefully studied the water projects across the world and came out with the facts and figure that 50 to 60% of the water projects failed. Yeah, silence. Why? Okay, I'll leave you here with why. And another technical issue I would tell you, it's about non-revenue water. When we have the water, drinking water supply from the source to our tap, it has to travel the big pipe, medium pipe, a smaller pipe, and the pipe and pipe and pipe, and it comes to our home. So once the source is in the dam or some other water source, when it comes to a town or city, what happened is we lost 60% or 65% in very poor countries, so that every 100 liter of water, we send it to the users and got 35%. Another thing, why? So then the answer is the fault lies in our way of thinking. We, the human being, think that we know everything and we know what to do. We know how to solve the problem. And worst of it is we think that we are the master of the nature and we are the master of the rivers, and we are the master of everyone who give us food, shelter, and other materials, luxuries, and it is called ecosystem. It is sad. It is too sad. And also, if we go to the geological timeline, 4,600 million years ago, the very small embryo of the water creature come out. Okay, and then 225 million years ago, we have dinosaurs. And then we have 65 million years ago, we have something we call Big Five in Africa, you know, garage and so on. And only 26 million years ago, we start to exist. Human being came out on this earth. Even then, we are arrogant enough to say the animals are our food and the ecosystem is something for us to do everything we like. Therefore, to tell you the short, when we see, I myself see the Ecocivilisation on the website and then read the website, then I have to write to the creator. The curator, she is humble to say that. Actually, she is the founder, the 𝐒𝐬𝐴 book. And I was so happy. Then I need to contact my Asian origin. Then I found Miss Dr. Rajni Vora. Then three of us meet together and we talk, and I became the Ecocivilisation Wing Myanmar country chair. Then, of course, I persuaded both of them to be interested in water. And we all know, and all of us have the heart that no one can do it perfect way. We all have to chip in. That is called co-creation. And that co-creation was born in the heart of Violator, heart of Rajni, and it was also inside my heart. So they all joined together. And this year of water, we will celebrate every month, and the topics will be paradigm shift, a new water governance paradigm, and water and climate change, water-related disaster, risk reduction as a new investment, wastewater treatment, water circular economy. That is linked to the grand title of the year title, Water as a Circular System of Life. So we have our mentors, you know, like Mr. Dr. Laszlo. So he is very good and very grounded in this systems science. So we are going to make the Year of Water and water as a circular system of life. So what do? We will be celebrating every month this celebration with the title. I will not read everyone for the sake of time, but the gender, Rajani has already said, women and water, we are walking the talk beyond the fairness and equity, and also 6 fundamental components of eco-civilization and how it relates to water. And also, we propose a virtual side event to UN Water 2023, and which is also a very remarkable event, which will be in Indonesia this year, May, so that we have this co-creation, even with the UN and Eco-Civilization and Eco-Civilization community, and also cross-pollination with artists, scientists. When I was young, I learned a quote that said, every country, when we are poor, we produce engineers and doctors because people need houses and health. But when we have better thinking, better stability, better financial power, we produce the authors and artists and singers. So now we are having that kind of more advanced human being, human faculty to join into water. So this moment, I would say, it is something bigger than us, something bigger than me, and something we are going to co-create in order to make a very beautiful world, the better world for all of us. Thank you again, Violeta.
Thank you very much, Nini. Thank you for your energy and your holistic description of the entire year. And I hope, Alexander, you've heard an open invitation to be part of this circle, because based on everything that we're going to hear, we would need a system model. And we would like to put the system approach as the core to the forthcoming book as well. So I hope we can count on you. We also, during this discussion, some good ideas are in the chat room and actually in the chat part of today's session. And there is already an emerging need to speak maybe more about technologies and to also introduce more concrete technologies that can contribute with a high level of sustainable awareness to resolving the challenges that some of them have already been mentioned, some will be mentioned during the year in the relationship with water. So Rajni and Nini, we will pick up that and see where and when we can include that in a more visible way. Okay, but Nini also made a great introduction to our next speaker. When we were discussing water, we, as Nini already pointed out, immediately reached out also to our art community. We have a very active members within Ecocivilisation, but within global female movement, which is called G100, we have also a dear friend who covers art and leadership, and we reached out to her as well. So connection was made, and you will see some incredible results that are already manifesting, and one of them will be seen today. And who better to ask about that and also ask for her contribution than our Ecocivilisation country chair for Japan, currently living in the United States, which is Yuko Kudo, who's been a really active member, and she will also tell us the story about the song that we will hear as a closing song of today's session. Yuko, welcome. The stage is yours.
Thank you so much for having me. And thank you so much, everyone, for a wonderful share. And I feel like everything I was trying to say has been already said. So I'm just trying to get us grounded a little bit into our body so that we can really feel it, right? So I am a water sign, and I'm a Pisces, and also I used to swim as a child, and water is my favorite element. And I'm an artist here, and like Violeta just mentioned, we'll be closing today's session with a song that I was a writing team of and called We Are Water. So I'm very honored that. And I want to share one of my favorite quote, and it goes, just like a sunbeam can separate itself from the sun, and a wave can separate itself from ocean, we can't separate ourselves from one another. We're all part of vast sea of love and one divine mind. That is from Marianne Williamson. It's super powerful. And it's very clear that we are here today because we are recognizing that. And I think we are all here because we are people who practice embodying that. We're here together and seeing the connection and the relationship with water like everybody has been talking about. And that is also why I want to be here with you. And in reality, being an artist, so being in a space like this, it's kind of nerve-wracking, to be honest. It's kind of nerve-wracking because I don't speak science, I don't speak finance, I don't speak politics or policy, I don't speak diplomacy, but I speak art, and I speak with music, and I speak with my body, and I want to believe that I speak human. And we're all connected with that emotion, connected with that feeling. And I am so grateful that Dr. Nini just mentioned, let's work with artists and really pay attention to these people. And earlier I saw the Lisa Russell in the attendees, and she is powerful person who really introduced me to these kind of concepts. And I'm so grateful. And I hope you all check out her work and create 2030. And it is really important that we hear everyone's voices. It's really important that we connect as a human first, from the heart space, right? Because once we have the connection, it is about water, in what capacity, but we have the connection and we are able to start something. People are not numbers. People are not some commodity. People are humans. We need to connect with each other. And I think it was earlier, Marcus said, we're becoming dry being, or is it maybe Alexander, the dry being, right? We tend to stay here, especially folks who are actively in the space of let's make change for ourselves. We pay so much attention to outside, people who want to serve, but it's really important that we remind ourselves that let's connect with ourselves first, right? If we're connecting with ourselves, we can connect with others. And as an artist, it's really important that we understand ourselves so that we can talk to other people. If we don't know what we're talking about, we can't tell anything to other people because there's already a lot of assumption, a lot of expectation that we may not understand ourselves. So we really need to connect with ourselves. So before we go on to other beautiful things, I want everyone to stretch because we've been sitting here. Stretch, everyone. And as Rajani said earlier, our body majority of the part is water. So as we move, we're moving the water within us. We can feel it. And if we're dry in our throat, if we're thirsty, that means we need more water. If our body is making a clicking sound, that means we need to circulate water within us. So I want us to remember that. And if we're sweating, that's also a part of our water. And if we're cold, we might need hot water to warm us up. And also, we talked about glacier and whatnot. And something that I want to also remind people is that snow is also a different form of water, right? And I grew up in a mountain where it snows a lot during the winter. And one thing that's really making me see right now is, depending on the year, sometimes we have mountains of snow and sometimes we have nothing. That's also the water that I want us to pay attention as well, because it's affecting people. It's affecting people in the Asian community, people who want to play with the snowballs and snowball fights and snowmans. Like, people don't get to make that anymore, right? So I want all of us to be able to connect with water within us so that we can connect with each other in greater community and with our earth. And again, I want to thank Dr. Nini earlier in a comment about humans are arrogant. We're so arrogant. We need to humble ourselves. So I am very excited to be able to share more art that related with related with water, related with our movement, related with the connection in humans. So I am very grateful to be able to share this space with you.
Thank you very much, Yuka. Always with very deep messages. And that is the reason, to be able to connect with ourselves and to be able to connect with each other and then with the Mother Earth. That's the reason why we are so proud and happy to bring art community on board at every event that we're going to have. So we are very much looking forward to the engagements with the art community within Ecocivilisation, within G100 Art and Leadership, and beyond. And as you mentioned, we have Lisa is here with us. Lisa, would you like to add something?
Hi, I hope you can hear me. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, yes, Lisa.
Fantastic. So speaking of water, I am on the coast of Kenya. So I have a beautiful view of the ocean right here. So it's very appropriate to be here during this conversation. But yeah, thank you so much for having me. I wanted to share a quote that I just shared with a friend of mine, which is, in order to find your purpose in life, find your womb. And water has been a very prominent issue for me because I grew up on the ocean, but I nearly drowned 3 times when I was younger. And so I've come to appreciate both the beauty, but also the strength of the ocean. And so one of the reasons why I'm on the coast of Kenya is because I got stuck here during COVID, but I realized, working as a UN filmmaker and a curator, that understanding sustainability requires me to be outside of Brooklyn, New York City. So I am very excited for this focus on water. I run an artist network called Create 2030, and we're going to be at the UN Water Conference in March, hopefully with some incredible artists from Kenya that are participating in an arts and water residency. And I would love to talk about really engaging artists, not just as sort of performers and kind of, in some spaces and policy spaces, I feel a little bit like artists are looked at as like, you know, get up and do a dance and a song for us. But I really want to engage artists in the conversations about clean water and also changing the narrative of water, because in the UN space, we talk a lot about the problems of water. I don't think we talk enough about the positives of water. And I think that's an important balance that we need to find in a lot of these spaces. So I'm excited to join you all. We are going to be launching a call for art around water, whether it's about water as quote unquote, I'm a filmmaker, so I speak in like film talk, like as a character, or creating artwork with water. But we are launching a very cool virtual art gallery where we're going to be soliciting really interesting artwork around water and then creating NFTs. So we ensure that the artists who are creating this artwork are compensated, because that's another big focus for myself and Create 2030 is to, again, not just look at artists as contributing sort of artwork, but also looking at it as an industry, as an economy, and that artists really need to be compensated in this space because we are creating a very valuable tool for various movements, whether it's water or the SDGs. And so I'm excited to develop this with you. I've been a little bit under the radar because I am a filmmaker and I've been under an edit deadline for 4 films. So I'm kind of, resurfacing, but would love to reconnect with everybody about some of the stuff that we're planning to do. I'd really love to see an international movement to celebrate water in a way that we haven't seen in the ways that I've seen it presented in this space that I normally work at. And really, again, like there's beautiful artwork that's created with water, underwater, about water. And I think we have so much opportunity to create and change the narrative about what water means and how valuable and important it is to protect moving forward.
Thank you very much, Lisa. Thank you for also
the
important thought that we need to start looking and communicating also the positive elements of water more loudly and with a stronger presence. And I do hope that some of your art pieces will find a way to our sessions during the year to be able to promote also your work and to show people how this water topic is evolving in art community as well. But 𝐎𝐸𝐞 will be delivering one special session where artists will talk about it, not just present their work, but we will be discussing art as a topic and also have a discussion among artists. So thank you very much for your contribution as well. And as I mentioned before, we have been talking very closely also with another part of G100. Ecocivilisation is also part of 100 projects led by 100 women for the benefit of the world. And dear friend Bina is leading art and leadership. However, something came in between our event and her being able to present himself. So I am very happy to welcome her dear friend, who also works with her a lot. Abirami, are you with us?
Yes, welcome.
Welcome, and please, the stage is yours.
Thank you so much for the opportunity. Good evening, everyone. And I'm here to represent Dr. Bina Unnikrishnan. So I'll just be without the video. So
Go ahead.
In the great circle of life, everything we see exists together in a delicate balance. As humans, we need to understand that balance and respect all the elements of nature as they are our cosmic ancestor. Before there was anything else, there were earth, air, fire, and water, and these elements resonate throughout our existence. Water is arguably the strongest of the elements as they are life givers to all the beings at an existential level. Water is spiritually a very powerful element. Our thirst naturally draws us to the life-giving element, which quenches the thirst and soothes the soul by its energy as rain, waves, rivers, etc. Whenever we are near to a water body, we shall feel the energy the water is trying to give us even before touching them. The law of nature is such that Water tends to flow in all directions, reaching every possible place, gathers power, and nurtures life to the fullest. Water has its healing powers. It purifies and transforms the state of beings. Water is all about life and represents the subconscious and the metaphysical aspects of life as it is. Every time we drink a glass of water, we strongly align to the reality and come in terms with the acceptance of our mortal self. Only when our soul realizes this, we truly become an efficient part of this cosmic perspective of macrocosm and microcosm. I personally believe that this entire universe is a living thing on the whole and by itself. Water on the macrocosmic level conducts the flow of life throughout the cosmos. Every time after a proper water cleansing throughout your body, we can experience the power of this element, which tends to pass the energy when it touches you by flowing and washing away not just the bodily dirt, but for all the negativities like stress, anxiety, fear, gets washed out and instills calmness, making you feel less heavy inside. Water is not merely an essential survival component, it is far more than that. It is us. For me, it is not surprising to know that the human body is made up of 60% of water. We have our cosmic ancestors inside us made of water. We are water. In Hinduism, the water is directly connected to the Swadhisthana chakra, the sacral chakra. It is home to all the sacred waters within ourselves and how to channelize them to strengthen the chakra to have life full of fluidity, grace, and creativity. Swadhisthana means in her own abode, the abode of Shakti herself. Thank you so much.
Wonderful. Thank you very much. Also in the name of Bina, and our best regards to her and her recovery. So you brought yet another dimension to it, especially the importance also in the spiritual world. And we will be touching through the contribution of art and leadership community, also this special dimension of water. So thank you, Bina. Thank you and very much. And we'll see you in the future events for sure again. Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much.
So this brings us to the end of the concept that introduced pretty much the future events of the Year of Water. So at this point, I was wondering, Marco, are you still with us? Probably he switched off, but I wanted to invite some comments. I see some incredible comments, especially in the chat. And also some additional initiatives. I see Ursula also bringing attention to solutions for people in countries facing water problems. Ursula, I invite you that we join forces when we will introduce concrete solutions, especially from a technological point of view, that you come forward. And we connect again and bring forward also your solutions that you worked on with Martin Westland. But I have another little surprise for you. It is also a surprise for me, actually, if I'm very honest, because just a few days ago, I was contacted by one of our dear friends and co-creators of Ecocivilisation movement, Eleftheria from South Africa. And she was telling me about this incredible session she had together with Claire. And to my enormous delight, Claire was able to respond in a matter of a day. And she is with us today here. Claire, welcome to this circle, and we are eager to hear your contribution, your comments about the water and the Year of Water that is ahead of us. Claire, are you with us?
Sorry, Violeta, I don't see her anymore.
Oh. Okay, so unfortunately then maybe there is a connection. It's often the case with southern part of Africa. But we will be hearing from her and seeing her in the future as well. And this quote that she shared with us, that water will reveal her face to us when we take the time to rest our conscious awareness on her. What a beautiful statement. And we're happy if Claire reappears at one point in the next 15 minutes, we will ask her to join us again. So that brings us almost to the end of this introductory session. So I'm inviting you all into a little discussion. I see you being very active in the section of comments, chats. So now you have a chance to maybe either propose additional topics that you would like us to address in this year of water, or just share your feelings and your experience during this session. Please. Just unmute yourself and go ahead. Nobody wants to comment?
Violeta?
Yes, Natasha, go
me?
ahead.
Yes.
Please.
Maybe I can say, I don't know where is camera turn on.
At the bottom?
I have only the microphone.
Oh, that's okay. Go ahead, Natasha.
Okay, yes. Just join.
Go ahead. You're now muted, Natasha.
Now I start video too.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Hello to everyone. I'm Natasha Bratina from Slovenia. I work on the government level, on the Ministry of Environment. And I'm really appreciated to join this meeting today. It's so powerful and innovative way to discuss about water. I have to say that I really really love sea and water. And I feel as a part of water and sea the most. We have earth and fire and everything, but I feel like I'm water. So I think it's not a surprise that I work on the field of the sea. I take care of the big system of water system. So sea and oceans are the most important part of our earth, and they run all around all our life, I think. So I just want to make point that this year is important for Slovenia too, because we are going to host the COP, or 23rd COP of the Barcelona Convention. Barcelona Convention is convention who takes care for Mediterranean Sea, for the people which are not from Europe. I just short to have a small explanation where Mediterranean Sea is. The Mediterranean Sea connects three continents: Africa, Europe, and Asia. So it's in the middle, down where southern of the Europe, and it's very special area, different from different parts, different regional seas or oceans. And the Greeks called the Mediterranean Sea the sea in the middle of the world. The Romans called it Mare Nostrum, our sea, and the Arabs called the Mediterranean Sea the sea in between. So this is very interesting how different continents around the Mediterranean Sea called the sea, named the sea. So it's surrounded by 3 continents and has a coastline, including islands, of 46,000 kilometers and today has nearly 130 million people living along its shores, or around 5 million inhabitants if the total population of the 21 Mediterranean countries is taken into account.
Natasha,
Yes.
do you think we can include one of the sessions that you're going to have as part of this conference as also part of Ecocivilisation session? And we can invite people to join?
Yes, I think this will be possible because on the Barcelona Convention COP, we can have some side events. And for side event will be for sure very, very interesting if Ecocivilisation can have their own presentation and inviting some people. Yes, for
So
sure.
let's add then one additional topic, which is just on oceans. We don't have that as a special topic. So besides technology today, we got additional encouragement to have a topic on oceans. And we will work with you, with your permission, to organize that discussion as part of the Year of Water as well.
Yeah, for sure. And I just want to mention one thing more, that this, on the end of last year, 22nd, it was happened one historical moment. Because the IMO organization, is an International Maritime Organization, had a meeting on topic of environment, and it happened first time when we came through to how to say but environmental result, it was more important than economic result, because maritime organization, International Maritime Organization, keeps everything to say in simple way about ships. So this year we went through, because of the Mediterranean region, because of Barcelona Convention, that the ships have to be their
Yeah, the disposal, dischargers.
Yes, discharges from the ships, they have to be limited. And this is very important because all the world, the ships from all the world are coming in the Mediterranean region. So it's not only important for Mediterranean ships in the Mediterranean, but also abroad for the whole
Natasha, these are all the topics we can really discuss in depth on a special session, oceans and water as in a forum of ocean.
Yes.
So let's connect again after this and see which month would be the best to fit into the overall project in the best possible way. So thank you very much for your contribution.
Yes. Violeta, may I say just for the end, the few words from the Avatar movie from last year, which were the end of the movie, and I'd like very much. The way of water has no beginning and no end. Our hearts beat in the warmth of the world. Water connects all things, life to death, darkness to light. The sea gives and the sea takes. Thank you very much.
Fantastic. Thank you very much. And let me continue with Lucy. Lucy, your hand was up, so please go ahead. You already shared something in the chat, but please repeat it live.
Yeah. I don't know if you see me.
No, we don't see you, but we hear you. Go ahead.
Yes. Okay. I want to add a topic. Taking care for the water, also the water quality. And I will explain. I live in the Netherlands, in a town about 240,000 people, and there are no rivers here in this town. We had rivers, let's say 100 years ago. There were 35 small rivers, rain-fed rivers, but we have done them. We have put them away, like many rivers in Europe. And my dream was to bring back water that children can play into the water, because so we made a park, a big park in the middle of the town, 10 hectares, and there is a stream of water, but because it's the first water, it's rainwater mainly. It's a little bit of water from the ground, And we take care with it with a group of 10 people, and we learn that, and we have around us a team of experts. And now I think the importance of that, taking care with more people than only the official authorities, is getting more and more important, because I heard that we in the Netherlands have difficulties to reach the aim of getting the waters, the surface waters, the quality good enough, let's say in 2027. We have to have it a better quality. And now the discussion is going, because the authorities, they're not, they don't have enough capacity to do it themselves, and they're speaking about closing down, putting away more rivers where they don't reach that quality level. So I would suggest we can learn with many people, and I know the people who are in my group, they love it. We really are a nice group. We love to take care for the water, looking at the water quality every week, knowing that it's safe for children to play there. Many people are very, very happy with that water, and it gives us in this time the opportunity to get more water in our living surroundings, in towns, in parks,
Lucy, there are two ways how we can maybe address this challenge that you have. One is that we can connect you with the Ecocivilisation node for the Netherlands. You can organize, we can organize together a local event in the Netherlands discussing this issue, and you can come then as a reporter to report on the conclusions to the last session, or yes, we can organize a special session on maybe urban development and the water. That could also be done if you're willing to pick it up and maybe work either with Rajni or with Nini, and we can put it on the global agenda. So let's continue this dialogue after this session and see which way appeals to you better. Okay?
Yeah, it's not only to me, if I may say, because I don't know if it is also important for other countries. I don't know. So
yeah, let's see what people think that are still present in the session. Would you like to have this discussion as a global discussion, or we can, as I said, also follow up with the country chair for the Netherlands and do the local one. But certainly, thank you very much for this very important comment, and thank you for joining us and sharing your thoughts. So allow me now, because we are 1 minute away from the closing, moment. I would like to continue to conclude this with something I promised already at the beginning, which is that we will listen to yet another beautiful song that was created on the topic of water, and we will invite 𝐎𝐸𝐞𝐬 one more time on the stage to share with us really how this music came about. So 𝐎𝐸𝐞𝐬, if you're ready, you're part of the team. So how this music really evolved, and
yeah, thank you
how
so
did
much.
you decide to share it with us?
Yes, thank you so much. I earlier talked about connection and being a human with each other, and the song was written actually not for water as an element or environmental issue. It was created as an anthem for stop Asian hate crime, though it's permanent. It was started during the pandemic. And what can we do when we want to make a change together? What can we learn from? And that's where this music started. There are a group of us, you can see that in the slide. Group of us came together, started writing together. So it was not one person writing things, but it was really co-creative. It was a discussion. We were talking about what are the elements of water that we want to really channel? What can we learn? So we we as a creative team, we had to connect and really tap into ourselves and learn from each other. So yeah, that's where it came from. And it is really, and I think somebody said we are water earlier, and it made me really smile. So.
Fantastic. Okay, let's hear the song, and this will also be the final contribution to today's session.
You pray to the heavens, demand of the sky, beg of the earth, crying silently, why? Why do they seek so much blood from a stone? What do you do when you feel so alone? Reach out when you need direction. Reach out, you'll find connection. Reach out through storm and through fear. We are water. We are here. Step in the current and bathe in the stream. Together we rise and together we dream. Join with our families, we are not afraid. Droplet by droplet, and the ocean is made. Reach out when you need direction. Reach out, you'll find connection. Reach out through storm and through fear. We are water. We are here. We are water, be as water, flowing water, formless water. We are water, be as water, steady water, endless water, steady as the endless sea, steady as the endless sea. Reach out when you need direction. Reach out, you'll find connection. Reach out through rivers of song. We are water. Reach out, you'll find connection. Reach out through rivers of song. We are water. We are water. We are water. We are water. We belong.
Wow, bravo. Premiera of the song, and video will follow soon. So hopefully in one of the next sessions, we can also show the video. Thank you, Yuko. Also, thank you for the words that you were posting in the text. And that was a wonderful end of today's gathering. I hope that we touched hearts of all of you, that you certainly did touch our hearts and give us strength to continue. As it was announced, there will be a topic every month, and some of the months where we will have actually 2 topics, especially thanks also to today's session. Just briefly, our first next gathering is already on the February 22nd, where we will talk about risk management and the climate change. So that is the first more professional session. Please bring your friends. And what is even more important, that at the end of every session, we would like to create one sort of commitment, whichever will emerge out of the audience, but one commitment that we will carry forward. And, you know, it really, that's all what it takes. It's internal decision that we learn together, we collectively understand more, and then act. Life is as simple as that, but sometimes we really need support of each other in order to walk this path. So thanks a lot. Nini, Rajni, Yuko, Bina, and the rest. Thank you, Marco. We will continue this path, and we hope that you will be with us. So see you on the 22nd of February. And thanks a lot for being with us.
Thank you to everyone who attended, and thank you, Violeta, and my colleagues, co-organizers. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Violeta. Thank you so much, Nini, and to all my colleagues. Thank you so much for bringing insights, and looking forward to all sessions that we have planned. And hopefully we could do far more than what we have planned, actually, more productive. Yeah.